single-handedly broke up my marriage. You're an awful person.
You're 24 years old. Why would I listen to you? Why would you be giving therapy and advice to people who clearly need it? It doesn't make any sense, Ari. This is a horrible idea.
You're listening to
unlicensed
therapy with Ari Mannis.
If I was into buying women on the internet things, first off, I'm not rich, so I'd have to get rich first. But if I was rich and then I was into that, I would want to buy you gaming stuff because then I could game with you.
Seriously, that's how I think of it, except for I go through a little bit of the dilemma with the people that do game with me. I go with a little bit of a dilemma because all of a sudden, like, they think that we're gaming partners, like, every time I get online. Like, they're waiting for me to get online. And then they're like...
And you're like, hey, I want to game with strangers, too.
Right. Yeah. I want to game with strangers, which is why, like, a lot of people, they're like, oh, add me. And I was like, no, it's okay. Like, I'd rather play with, like, millions of strangers and
I have the solution.
Oh, yeah?
You make 2 accounts.
That's
you
exactly
have your Lacy Lennon account, and then you have your personal account.
That's exactly what I do, because I'm just like, nobody would know my real accounts. I put them under like crazy, wacky names, and like I make all these amazing friends online, which is like why I love it so much. I think it's like why I love online so much.
It's so fun.
It can be, especially
it's scary, but it's fun.
Well, when you don't have an identity, it's way more fun.
Completely anonymous.
It is completely anonymous.
Troll people, sure, ban my account. Doesn't matter. It's not me.
That too. It's just like being able to like fuck around with the trolls and like go back and forth, and then making this like weird little friendship online.
Be mean to children.
Yeah, be mean to children, and then like
go on Xbox Live and be mean to 12-year-olds.
And then the 12-year-olds are just yelling at me. They're just like, "You're just a girl. You have nothing." They're like, "Go cook somebody's meals or go clean somebody's house."
A sexist 12-year-old.
And I'm over here like, okay. I'm like, all right, I'm going to let you feel big for these 5 minutes because you can have it. Because as soon as I log off, I'm just like, wait a second, who am I?
I'm in the real world.
I'm in the real world and I'm fucking Lacy Lennon.
The problem is I can't be that mean to 12-year-olds because they all are way better than me at video games.
Seriously,
I'm not good.
They really are. Like they're like a whole new breed of gamers.
Like they have the time to just play it nonstop. We have to work. We have to do.
I know. When do I have time to practice? They're like, they pop out of the womb and all of a sudden they just get put into competitive gaming, making millions of dollars. And I'm over here like, I don't even have a chance.
Speaking of which, how do you have the time to game? Because from the little I know you, you are the busiest girl alive.
Yeah, night owl. I get it in at nighttime.
Me too. I stay up till 2 a.m.
Sleep is for the weak.
Do you sleep in?
No, not really. I get maybe like... I think I'm just one of those people that runs off of like 4 to 6 hours of sleep. Like I'm just one of those people. I wish, because I feel like if I sleep any more than that, I then have to sleep the entire day. I don't know.
Sounds like a good day.
Yeah, except for like when I sleep too much, I feel like I don't sleep at all. Like I could sleep for like 2 or 3 days straight. And then the 4th day, you know, it's like I should be completely like, oh, I have all this energy. And on day 4, I'm like, no, I should go back to sleep. Versus like if I do like in like for several months, basically my normal schedule, which is me like only sleeping for like 4 to 6 hours a night, like I'll be working every single day. And it's like, it's crazy. But then it's like I have days off where I sleep. And then I'm like, okay, I should probably catch up because it's like...
It doesn't work like that. When you sleep too long, it just makes you lazier and shittier. You get that perfect amount.
That's exactly what happens to me. I get lazier and shittier.
Yeah. Past 8 hours, you're like, okay, this is too much sleep. Or maybe 9. I don't know.
100%.
How many days do you work a week? Because from my perspective, it seems like you work 7 days a week, but I don't know.
Yes, I do.
7 days a week. Wow.
Yeah, well, because it ranges. Every day's a work day. It's really, and that's what it is to be an entrepreneur at the end of the day. So I have my regular bookings that I'm working. Mm-hmm. And so I think if I were to say like my actual like hardcore mainstream bookings, I work anywhere from 10 days to 15 days a month. But sometimes I'll work only 8 or 9 days, but I'll work 2 to 3 bookings in that same day.
Wow.
So I'm working. So let's go ahead and let's take off almost, 2 weeks there. And then the other 2 weeks I'm working on self-content because we have OnlyFans. Sure. And so I get to work as much as I want to, basically. Or I
don't know if you're comfortable sharing this, which do you make more money on, OnlyFans or mainstream?
OnlyFans,
okay.
100%. And it's because So in the industry, we're not, I don't want to say like designated rates, but like there is a limit basically to like what you can make.
Right.
And it's like companies can only shoot so much as well. So it's
Sure.
just like and they can't overshoot just one girl and be like, she's our favorite and we're only going to shoot her. If you're contracted, then it's different. But for the rest of us, because there's thousands of girls and thousands of guys in the industry, they have to divvy them up a little bit because they're speaking to people that are paying for membership prices. They're not wanting just to see one girl. They want to see thousands of girls.
Yeah, the majority of people.
Of course. And that's how these tube sites and these regular porn sites work. And it's amazing because people get such a variety for their membership. But then OnlyFans, these are people that go, no, I don't want to see anybody else. I solely just want to see you. And
I just want Lacy.
They're a bit more dedicated. And being that it's me who personally runs my own site as well. A lot of people have teams. A lot of people and teams are great.
A lot of people have companies that do it all for them.
Yeah.
And they just kind of send them content. And when you're messaging a girl, you're messaging that company. There was a girl who was in the podcast you were talking about who owns I forget, but one of the companies that manages OnlyFans.
And so like those are great and everything, but I feel like me personally, like why I do so well on OnlyFans is because I am very interactive. And it's just like I'm willing to do, like I love doing the podcast. I love doing, the interviews for the articles. I love, meeting up with some random person online. It sounds so dangerous. I don't advise that for everybody. don't do as I do.
You lift weights. You could handle it.
Yeah, I know. I could definitely handle myself, and I think that's why I'm comfortable with it. But I'm more than happy to put myself out there and to do all these things myself. And so because my fans, it's like they know that I'm willing to do that. I used to work over at the Moonlight Bunny Ranch, which was a brothel and still is a brothel.
I've heard you talk about this. I'm just full disclosure here. I may have watched some of your videos on the internet.
Weird. I didn't know I had any videos on the internet. What? They told me nobody was going to see that.
It's a weird thing to say to someone that, hey, I've watched you have sex on the internet.
Well, that's amazing. That's great. And that's what I want people to do. But again, like I feel that I'm an educator in a lot of ways. So my fans are really dedicated to me on my OnlyFans because when they ask for advice, they know that they're going to get real advice. I'm not going to filter. I'm extremely blunt. I don't have a filter. I'm unapologetically me. And it's just like I wish I could change that. Not all people. Some people they'd rather it be easier.
I have that same, I don't know if you want to call it an issue, but quality where I have no filter and I'll say something and then usually I don't regret it, but sometimes like, maybe I shouldn't have said that on the internet.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But they love that. And I'm so happy because it's just like I'm not scripted and I'm not, it's just like there's no outline for what I'm doing on there. So I just get to be me.
Do whatever you want.
Do whatever I want. And they love it so much. And so it's just like they reciprocate in the best ways possible, which is through tips and buying my videos and especially lives. A lot of girls, I think that they sleep on the live shows, and that's where I make majority of my money.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. All you ladies watching, all you new starlets.
A lot of people, they get nervous to go on live because they're like, what do I do? And it's just like some people are like, oh, maybe I should drink or maybe I shouldn't. It's like, no. All you have to do is just have a conversation with them. Have a conversation. If there's something that you really enjoy, maybe you're a painter, maybe you're a singer, maybe you like an instrument, maybe it's just the fucking Rubik's Cube. I don't care and I don't know. The thing is like you can go on there at the beginning and break the ice with anything. There will be days and it's just like, I hate giving out numbers sometimes because sometimes it makes other people feel weird. It doesn't make me feel weird. I'll instantly make $1,000 just singing.
Sounds
On my
cool.
OnlyFans. I don't even have to get naked. The fans will be like, oh, we just want to hang out with you and we just want to watch you do things that you enjoy. And, so some days like I'll kill it and I'll go ahead and do like a full-on naughty live show. And then there's other days where I'll just get on and just
Depends on what you feel like doing.
It just depends on what I feel like doing. But no matter what, they always reciprocate because I'm dedicated to them and they're dedicated to me. So yeah, I absolutely love OnlyFans because especially with the year of COVID, it saved my ass. Like
Right.
before COVID, I didn't even have an OnlyFans. Like
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. OnlyFans. I was so busy with work because I
You
was
just
working.
didn't have the time.
Never had the time. And so then when COVID hit, I got to make it. I got to start backlogging on content.
Did you think to yourself, man, I should have done this a year ago?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I should have done that even before I got into porn.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know what I was even thinking. I'm like, oh my gosh. And so now that we're getting back into the industry is getting back to normal, it actually is getting a little tough to be back on OnlyFans.
You might need to get a content manager.
No. All that I'm gonna is like, no, I'm not gonna be doing that. Just like, fans, you don't have to worry. Will not be doing that. What I am thinking about doing is getting an assistant though, and then that way that assistant, like as soon as I'm done doing my videos, because I do all my own editing as well.
Wow.
Yeah, I do all my own editing. I do all my own photos.
That takes a long time. I edit this podcast. That is a part-time job.
Yeah, it's a long time to be able to edit something because like you need the trailer, you need the regular video, you need to put your trademark on
You
there.
need the blurred out version. You need
You need everything. And so it's just like and I don't mind doing that because I think I am a bit of a control freak. I like doing my own stuff. I'm very much an entrepreneur, and I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So learning how to do these things on my own and not having to depend on somebody else makes me feel very powerful because this shit never hits the fan basically. Because if
Yeah,
it does,
it's all on you.
It's all on me, and I never put myself in that position. So, and it really is a lifesaver. Or, you know, there is no messing up with the fans either. And, you know, it's like sometimes the DMs that they sometimes send out and everything, they can be very
vulgar.
They can be crude. I mean, it's just like I did hire a team at this one point, and they had the audacity to call one of my fans a loser. And I was about to just like start on a live show, and I saw that message, and I was like, "What are you guys doing? Like, you don't have the right to ever call somebody a loser or to talk shit about them on my OnlyFans, or like if they don't have a tip specifically today, and they're like, oh." All I can afford is your subscription price. And it's just like, you don't have the right to go ahead and hurt them over the internet, basically, because at least they paid for the subscription. It's better than the people
they're
that
still
are.
Obviously, even if they say a mean thing, at the end of the day, they are a fan. Kind of.
Yeah, and it's just like, as a team, you can't do that because that's not something I would ever do. It's just like, I'm blunt and transparent, but I'm never going to just sit there and insult somebody online because I personally know how that feels, and it sucks. Like, it is a really harsh feeling to go ahead and have somebody try to beat you down online, you know?
It feels close to saying something mean to someone in real life. It's not a good, when someone says something mean to you on the internet, it's still someone's insulting you.
They're insulting you. I'd
Yeah.
rather be insulted to my face than somebody insult me over the internet because I'm just like, at least like I know it's real and you had the balls to actually do it.
Right.
But instead you're online and, you know, being a keyboard warrior and having a team do that to my fans. Like, you don't get to be a keyboard warrior towards my people because I've always said like that's their safe space. Like, my OnlyFans is their safe space. If they have a weird kink or fetish, and when I say weird, it's like, it's not even weird. It's other people saying that they're weird, whether it be a stalking fetish, you know, whether it be a foot fetish.
What's a stalking fetish? Educate me. I don't know.
Nylons. So
Oh, I thought you meant like stalking someone. Because I'm like, that'd be kind of weird.
No. Stockings, like nylons. But like some people will go ahead and like think that people like that are really weird, or, you know, it's
That
just
seems
like
pretty tame to me.
it's pretty tame to me too. That's
Yeah.
why I'm just like, I've gotten some pretty gnarly ones.
What is a weird one to you?
All right. This one is a weird one. I got
And no
this.
judgment to anyone who has.
No,
but
I'm
everyone-
judging this one.
Something's weird to certain people, not weird to others.
I'm judging this one, and everybody on the internet has right to judge this one. This guy he sent me a $5 tip, and he goes,
Not a lot of money.
he goes, I want you to go to Walmart and buy as many goldfish as possible. And
The actual fish or the snack?
No, the
Live
actual
goldfish.
live
Okay.
goldfish.
Just getting a clear picture. Yeah,
And
live goldfish.
he said you should be able to get a good amount of them, at least like a dozen.
Yeah, they're,
And
I think they're
I
like
was
50
like,
cents.
okay. And after that, he goes, and then I want you to take a video of you swallowing as many of them as you can in under a minute. I said
that's not a fetish. That's fear factor.
I
He's
literally,
trying to create...
I was like, no. And then he's like, well, I can send you a whole bunch of these other girls that did it. And I'm like, no.
For $5?
I'm like, please don't do that.
$5 swallowing goldfish?
I'm like, this sounds like blackmail to me. This sounds like something that like I was going to come on the internet like 10 years after I'm out of porn and be like, Lacy Lennon eats animals.
I don't even think that's a fetish. I think that guy's just trying to get you to do stuff. But here's a question for you. Okay, so $5, I wouldn't swallow goldfish for $5. How much would you swallow goldfish for?
I'm not.
No?
I'll go to a brothel.
10 grand?
No, I'll go to a brothel.
100 grand.
No.
I do it for 50. If you want to send me 50 grand, I will swallow your bag of goldfish. For sure.
You're gonna eat the goldfish?
For 50 grand? They're 50-cent feeder goldfish. Those things live a week. I'm sorry. I love animals. I don't want to hurt animals, but for 50 grand, I'll swallow some goldfish. I eat sushi.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't know. They're just like really dirty fish, and it's just like a weird way to do it. I don't know.
I'll get salmonella for 50 grand.
I'll just go to the brothel and suck some dick and like for 30 minutes of my time.
You don't need to. You could just sing on OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's also why I'm not back at the brothel now. Although I am thinking about going back.
Really?
Yes.
To the same one?
No. And I only say it that way because Dennis passed away. And that was the whole reason why I came to porn was because I was thinking about, because I left the brothel for a little while. And then I was like, okay, what should I do? What should I do? And then Dennis passed away.
Dennis was the owner of that brothel? Okay.
Yeah. He owned 7 brothels at the time. And
Successful brothel entrepreneur.
Major successful businessman. I absolutely adored him. Like, I don't think I'd be the person who I am today without Dennis, because he always told me, he was just like, you make sure that you never fuck anybody that you don't want to fuck. He's like, that's your consent. He's like, I will never, make you fuck me, basically. He was just like, because the women who have intercourse or who have special relationships with me, it's just because they want to. He goes, they're not getting anything out of it. And he goes, and you'll never get anything that you actually want out of fucking somebody, like thinking it's, a trade-off in some sort of way. No. And that's beautiful because you don't hear that a lot in porn, actually.
Right.
And
it's not the guy who you'd expect to hear that message from.
It's not who I expected to hear that from. And he literally was like, get up. And he's like, and go in that line. And he's like, and go make your money. And that's exactly what it was all about. So I took that same perspective into porn. And it kind of scared a lot of people. Like that, it's like it wasn't as naive as that they wanted me to be. That I wasn't.
You had already been through an industry that's probably, I don't know anything about either industry, but to me, working at a brothel sounds like going through more than working in porn. It's
just like a different type. Porn is like high school, basically, whereas like the brothel was being a real, like you're at like the most elite sex worker possible is how I view brothels, because these girls are actually working. They're not working, with Manuel Ferraras, or they're not working with Mick Blues. You're
normal
working,
dudes or worse than normal dudes.
Right. People who are lacking experience, people who are lacking, experience with sex and communication, and people who, might not. There's reasons why they're lacking those things. And so you either have to teach them and, make them a better human being, or it's just like you have to kind of just fight through it and get through the day, because it's like some people are just a little helpless. Now, I'm very lucky. None of my clients were like that. But yeah, I mean, going and
But you never even, I imagine, because I do want to get more into detail on this brothel because it's very interesting to most people. To you, it's like, that's just my life probably. But to most people, that's a very unique thing.
Yeah.
So how old are you right now?
24.
You're 24, so you're young. You're a young person. I'm 31. You're 24.
I think I'm still young, right?
Yeah, 24 is young. So you got into working at a brothel at a very young age. Because how old are you when you started working there?
20.
You're 20 years old. Obviously, most women don't go into any adult work, but probably even more of a smaller group, especially knowing about porn and OnlyFans and cam modeling, all these things. Going to a brothel to work at age 20 is pretty extreme. Not to mention, you're a very beautiful woman. And from the little experience I know of looking up brothels when I'm horny, is most of these women I wouldn't pay to have sex with. And I don't know if that sounds mean or rude. They're beautiful in their own right. I'm sure men find them attractive. Right. They're not for me. But you, on the other hand, very beautiful, 20. What made you decide to work at that brothel? Was it purely just, I want to be anonymous and I want to make money? Was there something that intrigued you about it?
Kinda. So at 18, I actually started camming back when I was over at the University of Reno, Nevada. I was an opera major when I was out there, and it was very expensive.
Opera major?
I was an opera major.
I didn't know that was a major.
Yes, it is a major. I have a lot of the people who major in anything singing, they end up being teachers. And so you either make it on the big stage or you teach other people to hopefully to achieve your
right,
dream.
A very small percentage of people are professional opera singers.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it was so expensive. I put myself in an immense amount of debt. And so because of that, I started camming, but I was extremely discriminated for it. I was discriminated. I worked over at In-N-Out Burger, which is a Christian company. And so when all the men found out, you know, that I used to do cam and that I had a Snapchat and like everything just got really bad. So
in your real life.
In my real life. So this was way before porn. And so before porn in the brothel. So I was trying to earn this money and I was trying to get back on my feet and everything because I didn't grow up with a lot of money. A very beautiful family. It works very hard. You know, they did the best that they possibly could. But the moment I turned 18, there was absolutely nothing that they could do for me. And that's okay. So me trying to attempt the big world, I was working over at BJ's Brew House. I was working, and then after I left BJ's Brew House, I was working 3 jobs all at one time. I was working over at In-N-Out Burger. I was working as a receptionist at a nail salon.
Wow.
And then I was also working at a Chewy's warehouse factory, which is an animal warehouse that sells dog food, you know, cat food, all sorts of food, litter, toys, treats, you know, all that type of stuff. And so I was trying to make sure to, you know, pay my car bill, my house bill, my student loans, literally everything.
Hey, you're working to make ends meet. Working a lot of not very desirable jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I took a break from the camming because of how harshly I was discriminated against for it. But then I would start getting extremely harassed at work. Like no matter what, I'd be in baggy shirts, I'd be in sweats over at the warehouse.
But you already had that reputation of, oh, that's the girl who did camming.
Everybody said I'm literally a walking sex icon. And I'm just like, that's not your place to say or to do that. Like, you know, it's like, I'm not camming anymore. I got off the Snapchat. Like I'm trying to do everything right. And no matter what, you guys are still eating me up with your eyes like I'm fucking eye candy for free. And so that shit really started to piss me off. And so after my first year over at UNR, I could not afford to go back for the second year because I was out of state and I hadn't lived in. You have to like live in Nevada for like a certain.
Where are you from originally?
I grew up in the Carolinas.
Okay, cool.
Big military brat. So born Hawaii, England, Japan, the Carolinas, and I moved all over the U.S. And so, but before Nevada, I went my 3.5 years of high school because I finished out my last like 6 months of high school out in Nevada. And so because of that, that's what screwed it all up. So I could not afford to do my second, third, or fourth year. Like there was just no way. And there was
it was not only was it very expensive, but in your head you're like, will it even lead to, you know, how many people are professional opera singers? Not a lot. So it's like, what am I doing this for?
I need to get on YouTube and be doing auditions and actually putting myself out there, not going to school to become a teacher, basically. So after that, you know, it's just like, again, I let go of all the sex worker stuff because I was trying to appease my family and I was trying to make friends and like I was just trying to appease everybody, basically.
So your family was also aware that some of the stuff was going on?
And they hated it. And to this day, they still hate it. Like, I mean, they love me, but they hate it. And that trumps everything else, which is fine. And that's a fair opinion as well. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's a tough situation to go ahead and like trying to bring, you know, your loved ones without, you know, it's not something you can talk about being like, are you okay with this? Because the answer is no. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to do it anyways. Like, you think that's not going to piss people off? Like, of course it does. So, but anyways, so then I started going over to beauty school. And there was a girl, so I was only living after all my bills were paid. I was outside of my beauty school and I was crying. And I was trying to figure out my bills. And bi-weekly, I only had $20 to spend on groceries. Damn. And so I love the 99-cent grocery store to this very day. Like I will purple 99-cent store? Yes.
I was there yesterday.
I will still go there to this very day because I'm like, this is what allowed me to live, basically. Like,
you know what's cool about
place.
The 99-cent store is you could go there and buy whatever you want for the most part, or for me, and feel zero guilt about it. It doesn't matter if it's shit, if I throw it in the trash and I don't like it. It's just like go there and ball out. Sleeping is 1/3 of your freaking life, or it should be if you're getting the right amount of sleep. 8 hours a day, 8 of the 24. For me, my bed is my sanctuary. I use it almost every night. I enjoy going to it. Your bed should feel special. It should be the one you want to go back to. When I'm on the road, I'm like, oh man, I wish I was in my apartment right now. It's home, sweet home. And I sleep in late and I work from bed too. Sometimes I'm just on my laptop. I watch TV. I spend, it probably goes to show you that I'm depressed because of how much time I spend in my bed and not in my living room and other places and outside and hiking and with friends. I need to get out of bed more. But the point is, your bed is very important. It's a place you want to be. I myself am a side sleeper. And if you go to helixsleep.com/therapy, you can take the Helix Sleep quiz and it lets you know what kind of sleeper you are. Or you tell it what kind of sleeper you are. Are you a side, back, stomach? Do you move around all night? Do you like it soft, medium, firm? You tell it what you want and it gives you a mattress specifically designed for you. Not a lot of companies are doing that. I don't know of any. And I did it. And I personally now have a Helix mattress. And it's great. It's one of those mattresses, like I said, that whenever I'm not sleeping at home, I miss my mattress. I miss my bed. I got the midnight mattress with the pillow topper edition, and it's comfy. And the other cool thing about having a nice mattress is then you're kind of excited to invite someone to spend the night with you. For me, picking up a significant other and going, oh, let's sleep at my place. My bed's so much better than yours. And I mean it when I say that. I'm like, I have the mattress designed for me. It's great. So go to helixsleep.com/therapy and they are offering up to $200 off all mattresses, and it comes with 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/therapy. That's helixsleep.com/therapy for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. Spend the money. Get a new mattress. You probably had yours for way too long. You're probably thinking, there's nothing wrong with mine. You got back pain. You're not getting good sleep. Yours is old and dusty and mildewy and gross and cheap and shitty. Get a Helix mattress and thank me and send me a video of yourself unboxing it too. I like those. People have been sending me those and I'm like, hell yeah.
I love that store. That store saved me. But so I was crying outside and I was trying to figure out, how to make more money. And so this girl that I went to school with, and no names, but this girl that I went to school with, she comes outside and she goes, "What the fuck are you crying for?" And I'm like, I'm like, hi. And then she's like, "You're so fucking beautiful." She's like, "What the fuck are you even crying for?" And I'm like, and I told her my situation. Then she's like, "Well, that's a stupid situation." She goes, "Why are you putting yourself?" She goes, "Have you ever heard of the Moonlight Bunny Ranch?" And I said, "No, I haven't." And then she's just like, "Well, you're a smart enough girl." She's like, "If you want to figure it out, you'll figure it out." And I went home and I looked it up and started doing my research. And I was just like, I'm not sure. It's like I went through a lot of shit in college where, it's just like, and in a way, it's just like, I don't want to say that I'm jaded, but I think it did kind of make me a little jaded because I used to have this big group of friends who I have no clue where any of these people are. And I hope to God I never see them ever again because I would get so fucked up on drugs and alcohol and people would just basically take their turns. And people would just pass me around and I was just a toy. And again, I'm such a people pleaser and everything that it's just I let these things happen to me. And so when I started researching and I was just like, let me go ahead and have an honest talk with myself and think about all the shit that I put myself through for free. And let me think about, where I am in life and let me go ahead and think about all the things that I might continue letting myself do for free. And the positions that I was putting myself in with, work people, touching me inappropriately, with work people telling me, oh, you're just going to quit because you're a pretty girl. Oh, you can't work hard because you're beautiful. Oh, and you're going to fail in life and somebody's just going to knock you up. Even my own family even said, oh, you'll be 16 and pregnant in no time. Back when I was a kid, like 13, 14 years old, and like everybody was like, you're just gonna get fucked. And I'm like, so I learned about the brothel and I was just like, or I can get fucked and get paid. I'm like, well, what's gonna happen anyways, motherfuckers? Like, might as well, do it a bit smart. So contacted Dennis. Not even like 15 minutes later, he got back to me. And he's like, send me your IDs now. He goes for safety precaution. He was just like, I can't speak to you unless I know that you're over the age of 18. I did. He then okay, so I didn't have Wi-Fi either. And so I tried originally sending him this email inside my house, and where I was, the LTE or the 4G, it was just awful. So it was not sending. So I drove my happy ass to a McDonald's.
To use their Wi-Fi? So that's where you're at financially. You didn't have a wireless router.
I didn't, that is where I was at financially. Like, I was really fucking struggling. And it's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are supposed to struggle. And so, but I'm just like, okay, how do I figure these things out? So I drove my happy ass over to a McDonald's, didn't go inside. I just stayed in my car just right outside the building, connected to their Wi-Fi, sent the email, sat there and waited. And then I saw that he sent me an email back and I couldn't click it because of the internet. And I drove back to McDonald's and then ran the email and then sent him my IDs and then sat there again. And then he gave me his phone number, was like, if you can call me ASAP. And then from there, basically the rest is history. And, came over to the brothel and did a walkthrough. And Dennis, it was actually the same exact day that Hugh Hefner passed away.
Wow.
And it was like, and I had told him, I said, it was always a dream of mine. He goes, why'd you get into sex work? He goes, is this just because of, things that are happening in your life right now? And I said, no, honestly, back when I was a younger girl, and it's like, I don't want to scare people, like when I say this, because sometimes I feel like it does. No, when I was like 13, 14, 15, 16, I looked at the Playboy magazines and I loved them. I looked at them and I was like, look how beautiful these girls are. They're
photos,
so beautiful.
They're models.
They're models. And I was like, wow, this is what a woman looks like. And I loved it. I was just enamored by it. I thought they were so confident, so beautiful. I'd never looked at the pictorials and went, oh, she's just a slut. No, never.
Especially nowadays with all the hardcore porn out there. I mean, modeling has kind of changed in some facet. I think Playboy is kind of just more modeling than it is adult modeling. I think most of these women who do play, or I don't know about most, but most women who do Playboy don't go into porn.
Right. No, that is true. Well, a lot of them have OnlyFans now, and they're smart not to get into
now
porn.
Every hot girl has an OnlyFans.
Right, and they're smart not to get into porn. Like, I mean, I don't want to deter people from getting in porn, but it's just like, it depends on what you're trying to do. Like, if your heart and soul is, to become a porn star, then get into porn. But if you just want to be this beautiful, eccentric figure online and make a shit ton of fucking money, then do that. Be an influencer, be on OnlyFans, but don't get into porn because it'll go ahead and slow down the rest of those processes. But again, it's just like, you will be considered a porn star. It just kind of like you give up a little bit just because it's just like the industry can only give so much. Like I said, they can only do so many bookings a month. They can only book you so many times. They can only pay you such high of a rate. It's like it's not the 80s where you're getting paid $10,000 for one scene.
They got that in the 80s? Nice.
They're making good money. That's why everybody wants to get into
Pre-internet.
porn. The
before anyone stole
VHS.
What percentage of guys do you think pay for porn? I wonder what it is. It's got to be less than 50 though.
Less than 50
less
for
than
sure.
10 maybe. I don't even know.
It's probably like 1% of people that pay for porn, which is fine, and that's
just the way it is.
It's just the way that it is. And I even tell people, I'm like, go to my Pornhub, and I'm like, go watch my free porn, like, because the whole point is like, just get my name out there and
Right.
everybody watch me. Let me be a staple in your life.
Yeah, now you get a little money from the scenes, but it's almost more of an ad for your own personal stuff, your own
Traffic.
OnlyFans. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
exactly
OnlyFans.
it. And that's the trade-off that a lot of girls aren't really aware about is it's just like you do have to give away a bit more time. You do have to give away a little bit of money, but the trade-off is you get an immense amount of traffic. And that is a beautiful thing, but it's just like, but if your traffic is already going amazing
Then you don't need
and
it.
you don't need it. But
Lindsay
for
Palos, you know that girl? She went
yes,
viral
yes,
for her
yes.
boobs jiggling.
Yes.
She's like a multimillionaire just from
That's what I'm saying.
boobs.
Like, there's some girls that it just works out that way. But for me, like, I'm not that girl. I'm more natural. I came from the brothel, never had a social media, never hit the magazines. Like,
didn't have an OnlyFans till the pandemic.
Didn't have an OnlyFans. I didn't have any of that. So for me, being an absolute nobody, but having the skill sets behind me of the passion and the love for the industry. And I feel like that's why I do well in porn. And me being like I'm a real sex worker. I think that's the difference at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Like,
you earned your stripes.
right.
Yeah.
I'm proudly a sex worker. There's a lot of girls that are like, oh, I do some cam or I do some nude modeling. And it's just like that's fine. But you're just a model. You're just an influencer. You also don't stand for this industry. You're not interested in the politics. You're not interested in the decriminalization. You are not interested in the discrimination part of it either because you don't actually get discriminated against. So I'm sorry, you're not a real sex worker. There's some of us who are real sex workers that, again, through legalities.
They're doing it for the
and-
quick cash, not
Yes.
for the long haul.
100%. And so, but yeah, so when I started over at the brothel, it was amazing. I worked there for about a year and a half.
What was day one like? Your first day? Because that's no, but it doesn't matter who you are. That's a scary day.
Day one was
Yeah.
actually very interesting. So there is this girl named Air Force Amy, and she has been around in the industry for, I think, like over 30 years.
And when you say industry, the brothel industry.
Mhm. Well, she did some porn as well,
Got it.
actually. Yeah.
Okay.
So she's now, I think, in like her like 50s or 60s. But so she's been at the brothel for a very long time. And so she's amazing for especially negotiation. The art of negotiation is
Oh, there's not just a set price there?
no, it's my price, baby. Like, no.
But it's not just a set price. So if I walk, I've never been to, actually, I've been to a brothel in Mexico. I've been to Hong Kong, but I've never been to a brothel in Reno. So if I went up to you and you're a girl at the brothel and I was like, hey, how much to take you in the room for an hour? Do you like kind of make up a price depending on the person asking? Or is it I charge $1,300 or whatever it is?
It depends. It really does depend. It depends on what the person wants, and it really comes down to, like, do you want kissing? How much touching? How much intimacy?
Got
How
it.
fast is this going to go?
Right, the
Or
girlfriend experience.
the girlfriend experience. Do we want to go out by the pool or the jacuzzi? Do we want to go out for dinner? Do we want to go out for drinks? Like, so it's like if it is more so a quickie thing, then yeah, I think I did have more so a set price. It's just like I'd be like, okay, then $1,500.
Right.
For like 30 minutes. Non-girlfriend experience, half and half. Condom, of course. Condom.
What's half and half mean?
Half and half blowjob, half
Oh,
sex.
got it. Okay.
So it's like 30 minutes max and. Something like that, I would go ahead but again, there's no intimacy, basically.
Right.
It's just like.
That's just a business transaction.
It's just a business transaction. But then you have other people that are wanting more than that.
Sure.
And, it's just like, just depending. And there are other people that it's just like, I will go ahead and look at their wallet. I will look at their watch. I will look at their shoes. And I will go ahead and do a fucking background check on these people. Because if you're making billions of fucking dollars, you don't get to throw pennies at me.
What if someone was really fat and gross?
Oh, just shower for me. I don't care about weight.
Got it.
That doesn't matter. Hygiene, though,
Sure.
For me, because like there would be guys that would come in that would be like 6'4" and a total gym rat basically, and like he thinks that he's so beautiful and I could just go pick up a girl at the bar and be
You're like, do it then,
and
bitch.
yeah, and they're like, I only have $500 to spend, and then you have the guy who maybe is still a virgin who is overweight but he has great hygiene. He's a really nice guy, and he's over here like, hey, I want to spend $10,000. I'm like, yeah, of course. Like, I'd much rather work with you than work with fucking douchebag over there with his lousy $500 because he says that he's a pretty boy.
Now, who's the type of person that you would just say, nope, not interested?
The assholes.
Yeah, those type of guys.
Yeah, assholes are big ones. Like I even had this one guy that told me, so there was a bachelor party and they came from India, and you know, we were all sitting down for drinks and all the guys got super drunk, and he came up to me and he goes, I want to tell you something. And I was like, yeah, what's up?
It's a good bro voice.
I know. Well, I mean, he had an accent, and I'm not gonna like be disrespectful, but he was super drunk, and you know, like his eyes were basically closed, and he's like, I want to tell you something, and I was like, okay. And he was just like, all these guys here, he's like, I just want to let you know we're filthy fucking rich, but we're the guys that will go ahead and bargain you for as low as you possibly can, because in our country you don't count as real women.
Jesus.
And I was like,
point,
prostitutes and legal prostitutes don't count as real women. He goes, no, of course not. And immediately I grabbed Dennis and I was just like, can you say that again? And Dennis said, get the fuck out of my brothel. He said, get the fuck out. He's like, you disrespectful fucks. He goes, I don't give a shit. He's like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And it's just like we like the whole disrespect thing, you know, it's just like none of us fly with that. You know, it's just like nobody needs that. We don't need somebody to tell us, oh, you shouldn't be charging this much, or you're not worth this much, or, you know, nobody needs that type of attitude. Oh, I just go to a bar and just pick up a bitch. And it's just
I also don't know
go
why.
And do it.
Yeah, why is someone going there with that attitude? It seems like
because they're poor and
they
think it's the red light district in like fucking Europe where they're going to spend $50 and fuck a girl for an hour. No, this is America, bitch. Like we chose to be here and we want to be here and we want to give you an amazing experience. Like we're not just going to fucking, we're not going to take your money. We are going to give you the most amazing experience of your life because that's our job. And Dennis always said, he goes, the uglier the girl, the better the experience will be, because she's not riding on her looks. She's not going to ride on a person just staring at her. She's actually going to make her client feel good, because that is the whole point of the brothel. And it's true. Yeah. And it is true, because you had said it's just like.
I think that goes to real life too.
Well, and real life. Yeah. No, it's just like, because you had said it's like some of the girls on there, like you would never touch them. Well, the thing is like, close your eyes, buddy boy. I'm just like, especially if you're a virgin, like, you know, like the guys that are virgins or have only been able to have sex only a couple times in their life. It is just like, close your goddamn eyes, because I bet you it's going to feel better than any fucking fantasies and that's inside your head. I mean, the sexual experience, especially in porn, is lacking. Like sex hurts with these people. Like with the girls, it's gay for pay. They have these talons for nails. You know, they're just shredding the inside of my vagina. The male talons are literally biting my clit, and I'm like, ah! I'm like, what are you doing? But the thing is I can't do that on camera. I'm like, oh, yes, oh, amazing. Oh, I love it. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. You're not even touching my vagina, and I'm somehow coming. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you took the dick out of me. Oh, suddenly, I'm coming, squirt everywhere. Like, you know what? That's how porn is. And it, like, inflates their egos high.
And for all the people watching it, too, they're like, for me, when I was, 15, 16, that was my school on how to have sex, is watching porn. And then you find out, wait, girls don't want that. Right. Girls don't want to be pounded that hard for an hour straight. That's not what girls want.
No, and in the industry, girls do that because it makes the industry like them more. You know what I mean? It's just like,
no, it makes sense. It is hot to watch.
It's super hot to watch, and we are performers. And I think that at the end of the day, that needs to be the separation of the brothel and porn. Is one side, which is porn, is full of performers, people who, when the camera turns on, it is go time. But when the camera turns off, these people are dead inside. And I'm just like, they're performers. They're amazing at it. I completely, like, I applaud them. I really do think that they're amazing people, because it's just like, just because it didn't feel good, when the video comes out, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
That looks like it felt good, though.
It's acting. It's real acting.
It looked like it felt amazing.
Wait, so we went on a big tangent, though, but back to day one.
Yes, with Air Force Amy. So I got my first client, and he spoke no English.
What country was he from?
I think he was from Japan.
Okay,
and
Japanese guy.
And I thought that was so cool as well, because and I think that's why he also picked me, was because he said my hair, I had unnaturally colored it, and I got extensions, and I looked like the Little Mermaid basically. And it was like my little fantasy. I was like, oh, I made all this money, like I'm gonna go get nails.
This is before you made all the money. This was in preparation to make the money.
Well, because I got, the thing is like I got, Dennis helped me.
Oh, that's nice of him.
I owed him the money back, no worries. But
Or to give you a little loan.
yeah, a little loan basically to go ahead and like help me get up on my feet and to get everything situated, because I told him it's like, I mean it, I'm serious, like this is where I want to be, and I'm just like, I want to make something out of this. And so he believed me, and he was like, okay, he's like, we'll go to the nail salon, he's like, well, we'll get some lingerie for you, we'll go ahead and do these things, you know. And so anyways, the guy had picked me, and we go into the room, and I was just like, I was just very confused, and I didn't know how to communicate with him, and we just kind of sat there, and I don't even think that he knew. So I went back out and I grabbed one of the other girls, which is Air Force Amy, and
Your mentor.
my mentor for the night. She comes in the room, she starts yelling at him. She starts yelling at him. She's like, what do you want? She's like, you have this hot bitch right here ready for you. And then she's like, well, what do you want, motherfucker? How much money do you have?
Oh, you hadn't even talked about pricing at this point.
No,
You just brought him in the room already.
We were just sitting there, and I was just like, so what are you thinking? And he didn't really have much to say. And, you know, it was just kind of awkward.
Language very shy.
And very shy as well. And so she comes into this, so she's like, how much money do you have? And she's just like, you got $1,000. He's like, and then she's like, you have $800. And he goes, and then she's like, $800 it is. She's like, let's go. And then I'm just like, but I've asked her, and I said, for what? And I'm just like, $800 for what? And I'm just like, okay, so we go into the office, he pays his $800, we go back into the room, and, you know, it's just like, I had him take a shower, he comes back out, and just from there, I just hopped on top and just started having sex with him. I really don't know what else to say.
Yeah.
And it was like the fastest 30 minutes of my life, and then after that was over, I cleaned up, showered, and I had 3 or 4 other parties that night, completely by myself. And so after that first one, it was
Night one, four customers.
Oh, yeah. It was like, I think my first week I worked with like well over like 20 or 30 people. Like, people ate me the fuck up when I came inside there. There's not very many redheads, just first off, and then girls that are as young as I am. A lot of people are just like, you're the girl I wanted to lose my virginity with in high school.
Wow.
And now I get to do it.
So did you walk home like stoked or
I
drive
live
home?
there.
Oh, you live at the... I didn't know that was a thing either. You lived at the brothel.
Lived and worked at the brothel.
So when you came, when you did something in your personal life and you went home to sleep, you went back to the brothel to go to sleep, even on your nights off.
So my room I used as the negotiation room, but I would always try to push people to go into VP. And because the VP rooms were full, they had like jacuzzi tubs, huge showers, massage tables, king size beds, huge TVs, fireplaces. You can get food and drinks, and the VIP rooms were also right outside the outdoor jacuzzi and pool as well. There's also horses there, and so it's actually
this place sounds like a resort.
It was actually very nice. I will say it was very well maintained. We had laundry on premise. We had a tanning bed on premise. We had a new room massage room on premise that used to be a dungeon, I believe, but then they switched it out.
They converted off of the popularity of the new room.
And then we also had a cafeteria there where they would make us food, and then we also had maids that stayed on premise as well to clean up. So it was really clean, very nice.
I had no idea a place like this existed.
It was actually very nice. That's why it's like it's like the way that it works is that you line up in like a so the bell rings and all the girls run from their rooms. And they line up in this semicircle up in the front, and then the guy stands in front, and all the girls introduce themselves. And after that, the guy goes ahead and picks the girl. If he's never been to the brothel before, we always wanted to take him on tours and be like, let's show you around the place. Let's show you the different rooms, the different things that you could do here. Also to let you know, like, we could spend some time here. But if you had a hotel room and you wanted more privacy, we can do that. It's
hotel
an
room at that same place or a different hotel? You could travel to their hotel.
Leave. As long as we stayed in the state of Nevada, because there were multiple times where I got taken out on dates up at Tahoe, which is my favorite. Tahoe's
Lovely
like
Tahoe.
I love Tahoe. That is like my favorite place on this earth.
Skiing, snowboarding,
the
mountain biking,
the hiking, the wilderness. Like, it's just a magical place. And then the lake itself as well. But yeah, so I would get taken on dates out there all the time, and it was amazing. But so after you take them on the tour of the brothel, then I would take them to my personal room, and I'd be like, this is my personal room. This is is where I sleep at night. So I prefer if we did not fuck here. They'd be like, well, where do we fuck? And I'm like, oh, the VIP room. And then they'd always be like, well, how much does that cost?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, it's, just a little bit more.
Just another $10,000.
But it would really work. Of course, I would do my
Yeah,
negotiations much more professional and
Sure.
everything. But it would work. And so like we would be able to have these better elongated experiences because I think I would cap out people in my room at 30 minutes. Like it's just like, it's not happening. I'm not going to fucking make my room absolutely fucking disgusting and smell like your fucking ball sweat and sleep in it at night for your lousy $1,000. Like,
Right.
I'm not going to do that. Especially with brothels, you have to give up 50% of your income.
I was going to ask you that. So
Yeah,
50% goes to the house, 50% to you.
Yeah, 50% to the house, 50% to me, and then roughly 25 to 30 to taxes is what I like to set aside.
Oh, right. And then what about, is that more or less? Like, I imagine there's some girls that didn't live there. If you didn't live there, do they get to keep more than 50%?
So no. No matter what, the house always gets 50%. A lot of the girls, so the way that it works is like me being that I lived in Reno in my apartment my like house apartment that I was living in, my lease was almost over with. So I talked to Dennis about it and I was just like, this is about to end. And it's like, I'm working so often that it's just like, it's just like I could just live here basically and, not have to get another apartment. And he was just like, yeah, you don't need it. And he's like, you can just stay here. Now, other girls that have families, that have husbands and kids and everything.
Yeah, they have a more settled life.
They do more tours. And a tour is them going, okay, so for the, month of June, I'm going to come out from the 18th to the 25th. The 18th through the 25th for those 7 days, they have to live and stay in brothel. But then the other 3 weeks, they'll go home. Whereas me, I lived and worked there full time. So I would work 2-3 days, have a day off, and then, work another 2-3 days and then have 2 days off. And so I basically, got weekends or, whatever. So it's like I was only max working 4 to 5 days a week with a mandatory 2 days I had to take off for living there full time. But the other girls, again, they do things called tours. And when they come in, they have to stay and live in for that week. But then they go home for, 3 weeks or maybe they're only coming out once or twice a year. And then they're home the entire time. And then but when they come to the brothel, they work, that's those 7 days like full,
When I travel to a new city, I always like to go see the comedy club at the city just because I work in comedy clubs. So it's fun to see the different ones.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like that where you're like, I want to see the brothel in that city? I want to see what it's like there. There's
not too many brothels because Nevada's the only state. I've heard amazing things about Mustang Ranch, which is... It's like, so you have like Mustang is here, you have Reno is here, you have Carson that is here, and then over here you have the Bunny Ranch. So they're about 45 minutes away. Up north, I would say Mustang and Moonlight Bunny Ranch are the two top tier brothels out there. And then the other brothels include Sagebrush, Love Ranch, and then the Kitty Ranch. Those are part of Dennis's red light district. I'm not sure if they're still around or not, though. Don't quote me on that. So then now we start going more south. Then we have the Chicken Ranch. We have the Chicken Ranch. We have the Alien Ranch. We have Love Ranch South, which is where Omar Odom.
I heard about Omar Odom.
Yeah, that happened down south.
Wow.
What's crazy is that after Dennis passed away, he tried coming back and saying that like Dennis planted that on him. Like after Dennis died, he tried coming back and saying, oh, they did this to me and they set me up. Dang. And Suzette, I think Suzette and Dennis re-pulled out because he sent them an apology letter and a signed jersey for all the mess that he had made.
Wow.
And they were like, hold on, wait a second.
Why'd you send this apology letter then,
yeah,
guy?
Why'd you do that then? And so then it completely dissipated because it's like you're just trying to save your ass. It's like you fucked up, dude.
You're not gonna be able to save your ass on that. It's over.
You fucked up. You brought drugs into the brothel, and I'm just like, because I know I've been in the brothel where people have brought drugs. people don't fly with it. They're not okay with it. Like because
it's already this gray area of the United States. They don't want to bring any more attention to themselves.
Can't even have weed.
Yeah,
not even weed. Dennis was like, if you want to smoke weed, he was like, go out to your car, which is off premise. And he's like, but not when you're working. Like that was not a thing. And so he was really big on that. But yeah, and then so down south you have Alien, you have Chicken, you have Love Ranch, and then you have Sherry's.
Wow.
And I would say that Sherry's and Chicken are probably the two top tier that are down south. So the only 4 that I highly, highly, highly recommend are Mustang Ranch, the Moonlight Bunny Ranch, the Chicken Ranch, and Sherry's Ranch. So for anybody that is interested in like a fail-proof experience, go to those.
Interested. I'm interested just from hearing. I'm not gonna, but I'm interested.
It's a cool place to even just go, and like if you bring like enough money just like for tips and stuff, like because like we used to do tours over at the brothel, like women would just come in and
right, you can go and not go and sleep with a woman. You can go just to check it out.
Check it out.
I did that at the brothel in Tijuana.
My
friends were going and I was like, that sounds like a crazy experience. I want to go check it out.
Just leave them a substantial tip is all that I say. Otherwise, they generally do kick you out. But if you have a few drinks at the bar and you leave a good tip for your bartender, and then let's say the girl that you were talking to that you had, take on a tour, basically, if you pay for her drink or whatever drink that she wants, because I would have Red Bulls all the time, especially in the daytime, and be like, don't buy me a drink. I don't want to get faded at 9 a.m. I'm just like, I got to work all day. But then they would drop me like 100.
You'd work there at 9 a.m.?
Oh, my hours would be, they shifted. So I would sometimes work 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. because I like the night shifts personally better. I like the weirdos that would come in at like 1 a.m. because...
See, to me, it would be more weird to go in at 9 a.m. That would be the weirdo
Sundays,
in my mind.
Sundays were the best day for the a.m. risers because people that were supposed to go golfing...
I'm going golfing with the boys, honey.
Going golfing with the boys.
Wow.
And they would be like, all right, Lacy, I got 30 minutes. I'm like, let's go. I'm like, because I know you got to get home or actually meet up with your boys that are going golfing.
Golfing was expensive today. Yeah, lost the bet. Lost $1,500 to the boys.
That's literally what would happen. So Sundays were the absolute best. A lot of times on Saturdays, because again, I think I remember my shifts being from like 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. And so my Saturdays that would just roll into Sundays, I would just like power nap and then get up at like, because the bell starts ringing 5:30, 6 a.m. on Sundays. People are their ass early.
So what made you're working at the Bunny Ranch, or was it the Bunny Ranch?
Yeah.
The Bunny Ranch. What made you go, okay, this is great, but I gotta try porn? Self-care and a routine is more important than ever. Sometimes I don't feel good about myself if I don't stick to my routine. And shaving is one of those routines for me. I shave at a specific sink in my apartment. I use a specific razor, a specific cream. I have my procedure, and when I don't do that, I notice a difference, and I don't like it. I have been shaving since I was 12 or 13 years old. I remember I was in military school, and there you have to be clean shaven at all times. And I hadn't gone through puberty yet. I didn't grow facial hair, but they still made me shave every single day. And if I didn't shave, they would touch your face. Because I'd have like a few blonde hairs. It was nothing, honestly nothing. No one would notice. I looked like a little boy, but they would make me shave every day. And because of that, I would get ingrown hairs, and I was using old razors because I didn't want to buy new razors because I was really poor. And it was bad, but over the years I got better. And now I'm at the best place with shaving I've ever been. And that's because I found Billy. And I'm not talking about Billy as a person. I'm talking about mybillie.com, BILLIE, mybillie.com. You can get a starter kit for $9. And it's so affordable. It includes their award-winning razors, 2 refill blades, and a cult favorite magnetic holder. And to express a little love for our show, go to mybillie.com/Ari. It's a small way you can support us while getting the best razor you will ever own. It's just $9 to get your starter kit plus free shipping always. Go to mybillie.com/Ari billie.com/Ari, spelled my BILLIE.com/Ari. You could use it to shave your face. You could use it to shave a partner. One time my neighbor, this girl came over to his house for drinks, and she came with another friend, so she wasn't expecting anything. They ended up getting drunk. This is the weirdest story. This is true, though. They ended up getting drunk and started making out, which adults do. This happens. It's a hookup, alcohol, whatever, two consenting adults. And they're making out. This is a true story. My neighbor Alex, I said his name, probably shouldn't have done that, and this girl are hooking up, and she goes, "Oh, we can't have sex." And he's like, "That's cool. That's fine. We could, make out." But he goes, "Why? Why can't we have sex?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I haven't shaved because I wasn't expecting to see anyone." And he goes, "Oh, that's okay. I'll shave you." And he doesn't have a weird fetish. It sounds like a guy with like a shaving fetish. It's not, but there's a girl he just met, and he ended up shaving her legs and vagina in his bathroom. He tells me a story. I'm like, what? So somehow he did this. Maybe, I don't know. That's all I know. It's bizarre. I'm no longer friends with him. Not because of that. There's another thing happened. But anyway, I guess it's good to have fresh razors for those situations. And in those situations, you don't want to cut someone and you don't want them to feel bad. You want to have the best razors. So if that could happen to you, or if you need to shave yourself, which you probably do, go to mybillie.com/Ari.
I had always wanted to get into porn, and it was something I was scared to do because of that whole Playboy thing, and then thinking about porn, and like I looked at myself in the mirror and I was just like, nobody's gonna jerk off to me. Like I look like I'm underage.
And now you're like, oh, that makes people jerk off to me even more.
Well, now I look like a woman, and so I'm very grateful for that. But I was very petite back when I was like 18, 19, 20, 21. Like I was, like now I have curves, and this is me calling myself that I have curves. But that is like I was almost flat chested basically. It's just like I really didn't have any curves. Like I just hadn't hit that point of puberty yet. My body was still developing. So I would look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, I'm not sure if this is the right thing for me. When I did cam, I never even showed my face because I just like I don't know. I was insecure. I 100% was insecure. I'm a human being.
Everyone's insecure.
I'm insecure this very day. Like no matter what,
Yeah,
I can't just walk around and be like, oh, I'm 100% like the best thing walking on this earth. I'm like, no, I'm a human. This is hard.
Totally.
But so when I had taken my break from over at the brothel, and it was actually the craziest thing that happened, a whole bunch of girls were really, really, really hating on me. And it was after...
At the brothel.
At the brothel. And it was actually after my best month.
Because you were taking all their business.
It was the best month I had ever had. And it was, I think I was in like the top 3 out of all the girls for the entire month. And it was announced and everything. And then things started getting really weird. And it's just like I had met this client who I had really gotten along with, and they were seeing that, and he was spending a substantial amount of money too. And so the girls, I think, were getting really jealous. Oh, he's attractive. Oh, he's spending a lot of money. Oh, he's seeing her more than once. And then from there, they started like the workers inside the house who were not the actual sex workers, people who worked in the office. They were listening to my party while I was in my room with that person. And so so it's like they were listening in on it.
So it wasn't even just the other girls getting mad. It was the just regular staff.
Everybody was just like getting really
Haters.
nasty towards me because like they couldn't control me that much anymore. And I'm just like, stop trying to control me and like stop trying to tell me.
You weren't the new sweet girl to the brothel. Now you were a seasoned pro.
Exactly. And so like I started making a decision and a choice with this person that I was just like, I would love to see you outside of the brothel. I absolutely would. I was like, I've gotten to know this person so well, and I enjoyed them so much. And I'm just like, and I was lacking friends. I was lacking love. And I'm just like, the house got their money. And so they listened in on the party when I had transferred numbers with him. And I was just like, I would love to hit you up. And, like I have weekends off and everything. And so being from that, then they turned it around on me and said I was doing drugs. and I was a cocaine addict. So then Dennis was gone at this point in time. Like, he didn't pass away. he was just on a trip because he was running as the Trump of Pahrump, because he was running, for some Nevada office position. And so the madam of the house had then said that I was a cocaine addict. And my response back to her was, can you please drug test me? Because, like, I swear to God, like, I only smoke weed. Like, I used to have really, really, really bad drug habits when I was back in college. Like, I was doing Molly, I was doing ecstasy, I was doing acid, I was doing ketamine.
You were a college student.
Like, I was a college student. Like, it was really bad. I put myself through, I partied, and like, I was, very addicted for a very long time. But when I came to the brothel, I'd 100% sobered up. And that was big for me to do. And that's why I decided to go to the brothel, because I was like, I'm clean now and I'm really fucking poor. And it's like, I'm trying to make it, but I'm being sexually harassed no matter the job that I'm working. Like, people make me, it's just like, I'm tired of this. And so I asked the madam to drug test me, and she refused to do so. She's like, I don't have to know. And I'm like, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Like, you have no proof of this. And I also was seeing other girls actually doing cocaine over at the brothel, and I saw them doing it in their cars. I also saw girls selling drugs in the brothel parking lot, which was meth and cocaine. And I think that they saw me see them doing that. And I'm just like, I'm not going to rat on you. Like, that's your life, not mine. I don't give a fuck. So anyways, I also, all at the same exact time while all this is happening, my grandmother passed away. And so I decided to take a break. Yeah. And I was like,
it's not worth all this drama.
It's not worth it right now, and I need to take a break. And then Dennis got back from his trip and gave me a call and was like, what is going on? He's like, I just got back. He's like, you're no longer here. He's like, what the fuck happened? And I'm just like, why don't you go ask your madam? And I'm just like, because this shit's just crazy to me. And he was like, please just come back, honey. Like, we really need you. We really love you. He's just like, I know that there's drama that happened. He's like, but forget the drama and try to get me to come back. And then I thought about it. And then the madam messaged me. And I still have this text message to this very day. Like, I'm one of those people, like, where I like to keep things like that. Like, and I have like little folders, because I hate people, especially in like harsher industries like the sex industry. They're always trying to like pit something against you. And it's just like, no, it's just like, I'm not going to have you guys turn around and say that I did something when I didn't, or to think that I'm combative or, whatever. It's just like, don't make me the difficult one, because like, I'm just standing my ground. And she messaged me and said, are you ready to come back and be a team player? And I was just like, my grandmother just died, and you guys gave me less than 24 hours to go to her funeral.
That's a shitty apology.
That was a shitty apology. And so after that, I, was living over in Reno. I was living back in Reno, and I started getting back into cam, and I created a social media. I created my, Twitter, and I got like 10,000 followers. And I was just like, wait a second, just like from the brothel and, doing cam again. And I then started doing more research on the industry. And I was noticing that there were a lot of companies that weren't shooting the bimbo look, that you didn't have to have, fluorescent blonde hair and, platinum hair, big fake tits, long nails, super tan skin. And so like, I was just like, I was like, I think porn is really starting to change. And a lot of these companies are actually very new. Like, this is not something that I think it's only like the past 5 years that they've really are starting to change around porn, and the whole natural look is coming back. I think it was there in the 80s, and then I think later 80s, 90s, especially early 2000s, it was the whole Hugh Hefner look, exactly what he wanted girls to look like.
Totally.
And which is totally fine and cool, but that's like why I deviated from it for so long. And then I started doing more research and started feeling more confident. And then somebody who I personally look up to, and I'm actually very proud to say that I'm in the same agency as Riley Reid. And, I saw all the harshness that she went through, but I also was like, she's a petite, natural girl who's been in the industry for a very long time. And she made it. She had to put in a lot of work, but she definitely made it. And so I decided to contact an agency, and the agency took me right away, and I flew out to LA and did a whole bunch of shoots, and then figured out my agent was a piece of shit and figured out a way to get away from him. He wanted $20,000 for my buyout. a contract to put me on for sex.
To leave early.
Yeah,
the contract.
and that's not a thing. That's not a thing. I contacted a lawyer and everything, and they're like, nobody can give you a contract for sex. They're like, you know that, right? And I'm just like, I don't know that.
I guess that makes sense. I didn't even think about that.
That's trafficking.
Yeah.
That is literally trafficking, putting a girl on a contract and saying, you have to have sex for this specific company and for this specific, whatever. Like, no, you don't. You never have to do anything. Like, then that's like the craziest thing. Like,
right.
teaching
Even
girls,
on set, if you don't want to have sex, you don't. Even
you don't
if
have
you
to
sign
do
the contract,
anything.
even if they paid you, you can give the money back. You could stop.
There's literally there's all the contracts in this industry are complete bogus, and lawyers hate us, for that reason. Federal courts, state courts, they all hate us because whenever they get these, whenever they get these types of cases in courts, they're just like, God, this industry is such a mess. Like we hate it. They're just like, yeah, it's just like I love the independent creators. I love the performers, but when it comes to a lot of the corporate side of things, like they're not my favorite because it's just like without us, they'd be nothing, and they all make us feel like we work for them, and so that's definitely a battle that I still fight a lot today. But
you gotta start your own company, maybe.
No, not even that. I'm just gonna stick to OnlyFans.
Yeah, or that. Yeah. That is your own company.
It is
really.
Basically, and OnlyFans is great because the amount of money it costs to create, because a lot of people go, well, why don't you create your own site? Okay, creating your own site is a lot of money. Like you have to be able to have like $100,000 just to throw in the fucking trash. Yeah,
you need a web designer, and you need a graphic artist, and you need a production team.
Well, and then you have to get a hold of the card companies as well.
Credit card processor.
And we're going through a lot of shit with Visa and MasterCard right now. Of course, American Express is already that way. They're a Mormon company, so
I didn't know that.
They won't work at the brothels. I knew that before coming into porn because anybody with American Express couldn't do it no matter what. And then Wells Fargo then actually started changing, and they started deleting a whole bunch of girls' bank accounts with their money inside of it because they are now, moving more towards religious aspects as well. And so is just overall Visa and MasterCard.
I have a friend who is a stand-up comedian like myself. He also owns I don't remember the term for it. I think it's gray area credit card processing company. And his company does processing for the Bunny Ranch and for CBD companies and Steve-O's Steve-O's stand-up special because he shows his dick in the special. So he does all these things that normal credit card process and banks don't want to touch because that's
amazing.
Weird areas. So
I did not know that. That's super
there's companies
cool.
That's all they do is credit card processing and they take a higher percentage because of it. Adult sites and stuff
right. That makes sense. But yeah, a lot of girls don't, everybody's like, oh, look at my Gucci bag and my Louis Vuittons and look at my Prada and these lingerie sets and look how fancy my car is. And it's just like, no, I'm sorry. You don't have that money because you can't even create your own website. Like, I'm sorry. Like, stop acting like you're doing as well as you think that you're doing because you can't even create your own website.
I was talking about this today. And LA is such a phony place that I know guys who drive around brand new BMWs and they share a bedroom with someone.
Seriously?
Like they have a roommate and he drives a brand new BMW and has a Gucci wallet and all that stuff. I'm like, what are you
That's what I'm saying.
doing?
That's literally LA in a nutshell.
Get your own apartment and drive a Toyota. Who gives a shit?
Right. 100%. That's exactly how I feel. But yeah, no. So it's just like, that's why a lot of girls are on OnlyFans because like, it's not even worth it to go through the struggles of, trying to get the credit card companies paying out all this money and then the traffic, like trying to get from your following for people to go ahead and go to your social media accounts and then actually trying to clickbait them into actually going to your own website. OnlyFans is such a household name around the world,
and you could tag each other girls and all that.
People feel less weird about buying from OnlyFans because again it's been made so mainstream. I mean Beyonce had a song and put that in there. Yeah, she like shouted out OnlyFans in one of her songs, and then you have like the Bella Thorne girl who which is like
drama.
Right. Well, I don't even know the drama, but but she's joined in and she made her $1 million overnight, and then like she's friends with a Bella Danger, like they're really close and everything. And then you have people like Maitland Ward, who's now in the industry as well. So you have all these huge names.
It's booming. I know.
It's booming.
And I know reality stars that have OnlyFans now, and a lot of men are doing it, and it's
I will say
really
OnlyFans is trying to get rid of sex workers at this point, and
they're trying to become even more mainstream to where they're
even though they
becoming
built
a Patreon type.
They built it on sex workers and are now trying to discriminate against sex workers. It's the funniest thing on this fucking planet.
It's wild because they want that investor money.
They do, and it's like
venture capitalists.
Now, lucky for us, there's one, there will always be another one.
Totally.
One goes down, another one will go up, and that's also why I love Pornhub, because no matter what, like Pornhub's amazing because as somebody, it's like, let's say I'm done showing a video on my OnlyFans. Okay, maybe it's just like I made the money I wanted to make off of it. Now I can upload it for free. I can now make money off of it through the clicks, and it raises my rank. So let that movie sit there for a year.
You're a businesswoman.
I'm a big businesswoman, but you let that movie sit there for a year. Don't worry about it a week from now, a month from now, even 6 months. You have to wait a minimum a year. Now you click on that video a year later and you're just like, oh my God, I made like an extra $1,500 or maybe $2,000. Well, guess what? I'm going to let it sit there for 10 years.
Yeah. And then you got 10 of them going and
that's exactly what you're doing is like you have all these videos from your OnlyFans that you've done them
I'm
enough.
I'm in the wrong business. I'm going to start jerking off on my camera.
Honestly, guys make really good money doing that. I know a lot of guys in the industry that are straight male performers, but on their OnlyFans, they'll go ahead and they'll spread their butt cheeks. They'll go ahead and spin around their dick.
My younger brother is gay too. He could spread the word for me.
That's amazing. Yeah. But it's just like a lot of the straight guys, they're making killer money on there by, just doing the things that they would never do in straight porn. They're like, all right, I'll spread my butt cheeks for $1,000. And somebody's like, I will pay that $1,000, sir.
I met Danny Mountain at the Comedy Store. Oh. And he was telling me all about that too.
Fuck yeah. No shame. They're sex workers. That is what it is to be a real sex worker. Or are you trying to be, a lot of guys try to get into the industry and they're like, I want to work with you. I want to stuff my dick inside of you.
I was going to ask you about this. How does, I'm sure I'd say most of the people going to this episode, whenever I've had a few adult actresses on the podcast before. And when that happens, guys come on. First off, they hate me because I'm talking to you. So they're like jealous.
They get so jealous.
Yeah, they're jealous. They're like, fuck him. Why is he talking to you and not me? And they're just, this host sucks. He talks too much. It's my fucking podcast. I'll talk as much as I goddamn want to. But so past that, but a lot of guys probably listening to this, hoping to get tips and tricks on how they could meet a girl like you, how they could be with a girl like you, how they could be your OnlyFans boyfriend. What would you say to that guy watching? You'd say, not me, but here, or it could not be tips for you, but tips for women in general.
Yeah, so...
do you even see guys in your personal life? You're so 6-7 days, you work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a dating life?
I do.
Yeah,
that guy that I told you about at the brothel.
You're still...
We'll be celebrating 3 years in July.
Wow, that's so romantic.
He is now a power lineman. So he used to be in the Army.
What's a power lineman?
So,
he puts up the power lines.
Yeah, literally all the power lines that you see all around us.
Yeah, he does that.
He puts in the poles and then climbs the poles and then sets up everything so we can have the electricity that we have today.
I know a guy who does that, but with internet cabling.
Yeah.
And they make good money.
Yeah. The telecom guys make their job is like
6 figures.
50% less harder than somebody who's somebody that's a power lineman.
Because that makes sense.
They're working.
Safer.
It's safer because it's telecom. They're not working.
They can't electrocute themselves.
Right. Yeah. It's just like the amount of people that die with being power linemen it's pretty brutal, actually, and a lot of freak accidents. It's probably one of the most dangerous jobs that I know that's out there with the amount of... It's so funny. Back in the past, they used to wear top hats. And they used to wear...
I thought they still did in my head.
Felt top hats. But felt
I was
ones.
Thinking, the hard
no,
hats.
not the hard ones. They wore the felt ones, and
Weird.
it's because if it would hit the line, it wouldn't have any current or anything, and that would be their indicator. It's just like, so it's kind of like their little savior. And so I love seeing those pictures of seeing the full on gentlemen, and they're doing everything so unsafe. And it's like now
with class. There's no class with power linemen anymore. I've always said that these power linemen don't have the class that they used to have.
I think with all like anything union. Like they've lost all the class. Now they're just
your boyfriend needs to start bringing felt top hats back.
I know, but
he's gotta bring that to the board meeting.
But he's amazing, and he's absolutely supportive. I've never there's
sounds like it.
Like there's not a person on like I mean I've had my family members be like, you shouldn't be doing this, and like you would think that he'd be the person to be like, I really don't want you doing this, but at the same exact time with like everything that I'm doing. If he wants to go out and go fancy himself with another human being.
Sure, it's a little bit of an open relationship.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. The respect is there for both of us. It's not just like, oh, you go sit in your chair like you're a cuck. And it's just no. There's so much equality and love between us that it's really important that whatever standards he has for me, I go ahead and give him back. And for the openness and for, not having judgment and never freaking out on each other and being like, we're young, we're having fun, we're making money. And this isn't a forever thing either, because one day I do want to be a mom, and that's really important to me, is to be a mom.
I was going to ask you about your exit plan. Do you and your boyfriend game together? Do you and your boyfriend video game together? Kind
of. We play COD Mobile, but he's not like a hardcore gamer. Like
you're more into the game.
Yeah, he's very he's a man's man. Sure. He likes to make.
Men's men can game.
They
what
can.
The heck? I'm a man's man.
No, they can, but he'd rather build something. He'd rather go and fix something and go clean something and go landscaping or go gardening or go mountain biking. Like, he's like, let's go do something.
Sure.
And that's very him. Like, you could like put it, his hands are like sandpaper, and like he could just be like and just like take off like this entire front. Like he's
that
such
sounds
like
unhealthy. That sounds like too much of a man's man.
That sounds like too much of a man's man.
That doesn't sound safe. In fact, he could scrape off your skin on your arm by mistake.
No, he's great though, but he's definitely the person that if I ever get like crazy or crude messages online from guys, that I send them over to him, and like we just troll them like with each other.
Does he defend you on the internet?
No.
Does he
he's
defend
like
your honor?
No, like never. And we both of us don't want that, because that would make things so much harder. Like why would we want people to hate on him? Why do we want people to judge? Why do we want people to try to think that they're better?
Does he ever pop into your OnlyFans?
Yeah. POV.
Is he your main talent?
Yes, POV. Like they love him because like he doesn't talk, he doesn't want to show his face, he doesn't really want to show much of his body. Like it's POV, and people get to act like they're him, and it's such an intimate experience because I get to be fully intimate with him, but I'm playing with the camera as well, so all the fans get to act like they're him, and so it's amazing, right? And so it's never like me actually talking to him, so it's like never breaking that fantasy. They fully get to put themselves in his shoes and be like, I'm Lacy's boyfriend. And it works perfect. It's beautiful content. But yeah, no, a lot of the guys that hit me up in my DMs that are like, how do I get into porn? And I really just want to fuck somebody like you. And it's just like, well, you're never going to be able to do it with that type of attitude, because the guys that come into the industry that are like, oh, I'm just here to fuck bitches. And it's just like, shut up. You didn't even fuck bitches before you even got here. Like, you're literally here because you could never get a bitch to fuck. Like, it's not the old porn days where you had all these guys that had like baby arms as fucking dicks, like fucking elephant dicks, basically. It's just like, that's not really how it is anymore. Like, we have all these guys that are very like under average, honestly. I really do find a lot of the guys in porn these days are under average. They're shorter than I am. I'm only 5'4".
Why do you think that? Wait, yours guys shorter than 5'4"?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like they're tiny men.
How is it? Why? How has it become that way? Is that just what people want to see? Is that the people who are now just trying to be in porn?
I think it's the fuckboy thing. The guys that are beautiful with big dicks, like they
don't need to be in porn. They can fuck whoever they want.
They don't
anyway.
need to be in porn, and they can make a shit ton of fucking money, off of daddy or mommy's money. You know what I mean? It's just like that's how a lot of people I find are very taken care of these days and are very entitled. Like I get bummed out when I hear people my age and like I'm hearing how well that they're doing and they never had to pay for anything, and I'm just like, fuck you, like fuck all of you. And then it's like I know 16 and 17-year-olds that are have Mercedes Benz, and like
especially in this
I'm
town.
like, I've worked so fucking hard, and it's just like I drive a 2020 Jeep Compass. I love my vehicle.
Not a bad car.
No, not a bad car at all. Almost 40 gallons, for blah, blah, blah.
The tank?
Yeah, for the tank.
It goes long.
Yeah, it goes a long ways.
Yeah.
And then like when I like come to a stop, or like let's say I like press on my brake or come to a red light, it completely shuts off. So it saves like on gas so much. But a lot of people don't think like that.
Yeah.
I'm so cheap.
I'm a real car nerd. The Ford Maverick just came out. That's my new dream car. It's the compact truck. It's hybrid. It gets 40 miles to gallon, but it's a pickup truck. That's the car I want.
A lot of people like the country boys are hating on anything electric. Like they are freaking the fuck out.
A quiet little pickup truck. I'm gonna get, if I drove that in another state, I'd get made fun of. But I don't care. I don't care. That's the car I want.
No, it's great because I mean it's just like I don't know, we're slowly kind of saving the earth, but all the humans on this earth could have electric cars, and the fucking factories around the world will still kill us all. But
my dream car is a Tesla because autonomous cars, but I don't have a place to plug in at my building.
Oh.
So it's not quite convenient enough for me yet. So
I want a Tesla as well. Like when I become a mom, when I have kids, like that is like my little dream, little SUV is in Tesla.
That'd be sweet. Or the new Cybertruck. That's what I want. So you work so hard, as I've said 1,000 times. You're working every day. You're doing OnlyFans. You're doing porn. You're doing everything. You just said you want to be a mom one day. What is your retirement plan? Do you have one? Are you just going to go until you lose steam?
No.
I
I have a plan. No. I always have a plan. I'm just like, I'm so hot. I'm like sweating so much. I hope that the fans online, they're not like, oh, Lacy,
just turn them on even more.
You have pit stains. Yeah, well, I'm a human, you motherfuckers. And it's
People
California. It's like
sweat.
110 degrees out here. Like, fuck. Anyways, yes, of course I have an exit plan. I think about everything. I think too much. I think it's like sometimes like it's my
overanalyzer.
I am. I'm an Aquarius. What are you?
Virgo, cusp Libra, but I'll be honest, I don't believe in that. So I don't know what it means.
I'm not diehard either,
and I don't believe in it.
Yeah,
but maybe it's real. I don't know.
We're in the same circle, so
perfect.
Yeah, so just letting you know, we can be friends.
That's what I hope for. That was my biggest goal.
My exit plan is anywhere from 28 to 30. Is when I want to go ahead and leave the industry.
So you got 4 to 6 years left.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a really good time frame with everything that I'm doing.
So basically, as soon as they start calling you a MILF.
Oh, I'm leaving before then. Like that's
now they call people MILFs. They're like 30-year-old women that are getting called MILFs. I'm like, I guess they could. They technically could be a MILF. But
this shit's annoying, and that's a big reason. Like why it's just like 28 through 30 is the perfect time frame because I will never be labeled a MILF. Like it's not happening.
As soon as someone sends you an email, hey, do you want to do this MILF scene? Yeah, I'm done. I've
already been put as a MILF.
Wow.
Yeah, for one scene, and it pissed me off, and I was just like, what?
But you still did it.
Well, I didn't know till I got there.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm just like, wow, you guys like kept this from me. And I'm just like, way to go. Like, you guys are assholes. But I was like, I'm 24 years old. 24. And they were like, well, 24-year-olds have kids. And I said, I don't.
Yeah. So do 16-year-olds, but they're not MILFs.
Yeah. So do 16-year-olds. Yeah. Like, Jesus. So, yeah. So, anyway, so 28 through 30 is when I want to go ahead and start leaving the industry. That's when I want to go ahead and, start having kids. I want to leave the industry with like a big goodbye showcase, and because it's going to be planned. And
what is a goodbye showcase?
A showcase is a DVD where it's completely about you. So it'll have like 4 or 5 scenes, and every single one of those scenes will only have me. And I'm just like, it might have male talent or female talent or whatever. But I'm going to do all my scene work. I'm going to try to get on as many podcasts and articles and everything. And, go
out with a bang.
Go out with a bang. And leaving with love.
Literally.
Yeah. Leaving with love and letting people know, like, I'm still here. I'm not leaving with animosity. I'm not just disappearing off the face of the earth.
That's nice.
I'm just ready to close this chapter, and I'm ready to open up a new one. Again, I'm really big into business, so I'm already starting to work on several other business endeavors that are going to basically help me create, I don't want to say like a monopoly, but almost kind of like my own little monopoly. And so I have all these business ideas that it's like, I don't want to tell anybody either because people steal ideas. I'm just like, and I think I've really like diamond in the rough type of ideas that are useful for humans on an everyday basis, for people that are traveling, for people that have animals, for people who like to be hygienic, for people who like safety. These are things, especially if you're an outdoor enthusiast such as myself, these are things that I feel like I'm I'm lacking constantly when I'm going out to national parks or I'm going camping or I'm going hiking. Like I'm lacking so many things. And so I want to create these businesses that can really help humans around the world to go ahead and to not be lacking these things and to be able
Those
to
are
be
the best products, the
yeah,
ones that fill a void,
fill a
fix a
void.
problem that is not being addressed by the current product.
Right.
So
And it's
sounds
not
like a
gonna
win.
and they're establishments as well. They're not just like little small products. They're full on establishments. So it's just like you have, it's like you think in LA when people go to gyms and stuff, you have 24-hour fitness or you have Equinox or you have Planet Fitness. It's gonna be one of those types of staple things, but it's not a gym at all. but
Look out. Keep an eye out
yeah,
for it.
so it's just like I have all these ideas and it's just like I'm excited because my partner works as well. And so at that moment in time, I'll be a stay-at-home mom, so I can really, because I want 1 or 2 kids and I want to have them pretty close.
You're saving enough money to where you'll be able to try out these businesses, and if they don't work, you're still fine. And if they work, great.
Well, I'll be starting these businesses. Like I'm hoping to have the first one up and running in 2 years. So it's just like I'm going to be starting these businesses while I'm in the industry.
Gotcha.
That way, it's just like I think that's just the right thing to do because it's like to leave the industry, become a mom, and then start a business. Like no, that's not going to work. Be in the industry, start the business, leave the industry. Business is already running. Now be a mom. It's just like because I don't want to quit and fail, basically. So
You have thought it through.
I have really thought it through because it's like I wouldn't be leaving again with any animosity and again putting out a showcase. So it's like giving the fans like, here's my farewell. Here's a last video. I know what you guys like. I know what you're looking for and I know what you're going to miss. So we're going to put it in this last big movie for you. And I'm going to give you a goodbye present. And again, I'm not falling off the face of the earth in any sort of way. It's just like I'm just no longer doing
adult
porn.
videos. You still might have your OnlyFans. You still might have
no solos, no
media.
girl. That's one thing I'm going to be doing for my kids because I don't want them to have any animosity or feel any sort of way because it is going to be difficult on them. Like I'm Penthouse Pet of the Year. It's just like I'm doing all these major things that are going to stick with me for the rest of my life. And I don't want my kids to be like, oh, my mom ruined my life and like all she cares about is sex and being a sex icon. It's like, no, I want my kids to be like, yeah, she was. She totally was. Mom used to be hot. And then she decided to be a mom and she committed. Like she hardcore committed and being like, that's my mom. She lit all that we know her as is just a mom. And it's just like I want to be there for my kids and I want them to be the stars. I want to close my chapter and be like, I'm having these kids so they can grow up and be exactly who they want to be and have the childhood that I've always wanted and, have the younger adulthood that I had always wanted, which was support, financial support, and actual love and actual acceptance. And that's all that I want to do for my kids.
You have a good head on your shoulders. I didn't prepare you for this segment, but is there anything in your life that I could help you with? Unlicensed therapy, that's how it got the title. Is there any advice you need in your day-to-day life? I'm really smart. I'm 31. I've been through it. I've had a lot of experiences you haven't had. Is there anything, and maybe you don't have anything that you need help with. Maybe there's nothing bothering you in your life.
Yeah, actually I do. And my fans know about this all too well, is that I'm not an LA girl. I did not grow up in LA.
Neither did I.
And it's not really my happy place. And I think I've been struggling a little bit lately with my my happiness out here. And so it's like I've been wanting to leave but it scares the industry, right? Because they're like, oh, is she leaving me because she doesn't want to be here anymore because of porn? No, not at all. I want to leave and I would love to maybe live somewhere in like Tahoe or even Big
and then
Bear.
Just come down to do scenes.
And come down and do scenes. That way I can go ahead and really detach myself because again, it's just like when I'm working on OnlyFans and when I'm doing my content and I'm doing all my stuff at home, that's fine, right? But I'm only working anywhere max, the absolute max, 10 to 15 days a month. But that leaves me 15 other days.
Right.
I don't have to be here in LA.
No brainer. You got to get a house somewhere else.
But I think my biggest thing that I'm scared about is my agency kind of requires me to be out here in LA. And
what agency are you with?
With Spiegler.
That's the big one.
And he's I know. Yeah. It's like, I love him. I love him so much. Spiegler is like the best person on this.
Have you tried talking to him about it?
Not yet. yet. I'm too scared because
have the conversation. He's not going to fire you for asking about
well,
it.
actually, I did ask, and
Okay.
I was told no.
He said absolutely not.
He just said no, just stop. And I was just like,
Damn.
well, and so it's like I've been really struggling out here because like I don't really have many friends. I've tried to make friends, but they've all screwed me over. Every single one of them. I
That
did my
sucks.
best.
Are they in the same industry type friends, or are they other friends?
Yeah,
Maybe
and then
make some friends outside.
I tried,
Yeah,
and people they look at me, Lacy Lennon.
Bumble, was it? I think Bumble has a friend section of it now. I haven't used it.
But people they get crazy, and it's like they're like, oh, you're Lacy Lennon, and then clout, and then the girls they get really jealous, or they're just trying to get into porn.
That's hard.
And I'm just like, well, you don't suck at, like, I just want real friends. Like, I just want somebody to smoke some weed with, play some games, watch a movie, go
That's
hiking
all anybody
with.
wants.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had that before I came out here to LA. I had friends in Nevada. I had friends in the
Do you
Carolinas.
think you'll be able to get that back, even though they're still gonna, know what you do, and you're still gonna have that clout?
Yeah,
Just LA.
Yeah, it's just LA. It's just something with just being out
Well,
here.
I know that Spiegler is the top dog. I know. But I think you got to give it one more shot. Say, hey, for my own mental health, I need to get out of LA. And if he doesn't go with it, then you have a peaceful separation.
Oh, that's so hard though.
It's
that's
hard,
so hard.
but if you don't like LA and know you'd be happier somewhere else, it's worth it. Just be like, hey, I love you. I would love to keep working with you, but I need to leave LA. And if that's not happening, I need to go with someone that'll allow that.
That's the tough part that I've been like trying to build that bridge and get over.
I think he'll cave. I think he'll go, you know what? If you need to leave LA,
I'm in the middle of
let's
Black
do
Widow
it.
and I'm doing my anal debut this year, so I'm waiting to have the conversation.
After that?
After
what
the-
about right before, like day before shoot date?
Or it could be the day or just after the shoot's over.
Yeah, right when the shoot's over.
And be like, okay, I did it.
Hey, I'm only going to set tomorrow if you still work with me when I leave LA because I love you.
I know. Seriously, I'll even be like, oh, I'll stay with you. But yeah, I think I've been really struggling with that because I would love to be somewhere.
Or here's a thought. You keep your place in LA.
Mm-hmm.
You keep a small apartment in LA. You get your house in your dream city outside of LA. And that's just your vacation house that you're there 2 weeks out of the month, but you still live in LA,
Yeah.
Like, because you're still, like you said, going to be here 2 weeks out of the year. So you're not leaving LA. You're just also getting a place in this other city.
I've been thinking about that too because it's just like my rent's pretty expensive out here where I'm at. But yeah,
get a shittier place for when you're in LA, and then put that money and get your dream house in Big Bear or Lake Tahoe.
Right.
And then you're back and forth between the two.
It's the whole money thing though as well because I've lived in so many other areas that I'm just like LA is so expensive. It's unreal. Like
oh my gosh.
it
I'd be a
doesn't even make
homeowner in any other city.
any other city, seriously, any other state. Like for what I'm paying right now, I could go to Texas is a good example. I go to Texas and I'm living in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 700 square feet and paying a good substantial amount of money. But if I pay that same exact money in Texas, I'd have a 5-bedroom,
Right.
3-bathroom, 2-car garage, a
Mm-hmm.
pool would be in the backyard.
Yeah.
Like it would be, and I'll be like, oh, I can't even see my neighbors. Oh, I have to yell. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's wild to me.
Definitely. But for me, I like being able to walk outside with no sweatshirt on. I like being able to go to the beach or to Big Bear in, the same day. I don't know. It's just, I do. I'm from San Diego, so I'm spoiled.
Oh, okay.
I'm
well,
a
then that
SoCal
makes
boy.
sense.
I
You're
need it.
a California
I love Lake
boy.
Tahoe, and I love Big Bear, but yeah, Southern California is just, it's hard.
Everybody
it's hard
has
to
their
beat.
place.
It's hard to beat.
But I grew up in places that had 4 seasons.
Right.
That I grew up very poor, so it's just like the amount of money I'm spending right now.
It's absurd.
It makes my family their minds are blown. Like I make more money than I think I probably make the absolute most money than all of my family members. Like probably not combined. I think by next year combined for sure. Like I will make more money than all of them.
Do you get them nice Christmas presents?
I used to. Except for this year, I'm taking a break. I got into a really, really nasty argument with my mom, and I'm kind of taking a break with her right now.
I've
so,
been there. My mom sent me to a military school when I was 12. So
Oh, yeah.
been there.
Oh,
there.
that's not too bad, though. I grew up a hardcore military brat,
Yeah,
so
you're
I'm
saying
just
that.
like...
No, I liked it. I would go
Yeah.
back. Sometimes I I have fantasized about going back, even though I'm too old to go back. But I'm like, it'd be fun to do one more year at the military school, knowing what I know now.
That's kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
I feel like that. I don't know if everybody would last, though, and I don't recommend the military for everybody. It's not for everybody.
No, definitely not. I wouldn't want to join the military.
Right, just like sex work. You know what I mean? Being
Yeah.
in the military, being in sex work, being in the music industry, just certain industries and certain places aren't meant for everybody. Like, you have to go where you belong. Like, and I hate to say that, it's not like you belong here. It's more so like, no, this fits you and your personality, and you're not actually going to hurt yourself by being in this industry. Whereas, let's say somebody like me going into the military, like, no, that wouldn't work. I'm too loud, you know. I'm too loud. I'm not gonna have a motherfucker scream in my face because I'll fucking hit him. Like, I'd be like, but so the military doesn't work for me.
Same.
But
No, that's the same thing. But it's fun to fantasize about to do for a week or for a day. Like, I don't want to join the military, but I would like to be in the military for a week. I don't want to do porn, but yeah, I would like to do it for one day.
yeah,
Get the taste,
try it just for one day.
Yeah.
Of
It's like,
course.
that's what I want.
There's a lot of military that come into porn. It's actually really
believe
awesome.
it.
We have a lot of like, I would say, like, the top tier males in the industry. They all used to be in the military. Some of the most respectful people on this planet. Like, they've been through such harsh environments and such like harsh situations that coming into porn, they're like, this place is awesome. This is heaven. Like, I want to treat all the women with respect. I want to make them have a really great time. I want to have smiles on everybody's faces because I've been to war, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
And this is way better.
I'd say most people who come from the military are gentlemen. Obviously, there's exceptions to every rule, but
Yeah.
they try to instill manners and
Yeah.
yes ma'am, no ma'am, that sort of thing.
And I'm
And
grateful for that. Grateful for our troops. Like, I'm like, we've been going through a lot of heat with like the military and the cops and everything. But at the end of the day, I'm so grateful for them because I'm not gonna do it. Like, this is like, it's a really hard job.
there's problems with cops, there's problems with military, but overall we kind of need them.
We do need them because
overall they're good people.
the regular civilians aren't going to do it, especially when shit actually hits the fan. So it's like, I'm grateful because I'm not going to do it. And it's just like, do I agree with anything that deals with brutality? Fuck
No, of course not.
Those
No.
are bad eggs.
Yeah.
Crack those bad eggs and fucking throw them out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, get rid of them. But not all of them are that way. There's a lot of really amazing people out in this world. And so, yeah, I just want to say, because I grew up a military brat, and my partner's stepdad is actually a cop as well. And so it's just like, they're amazing people. Like, they've never hurt anybody. They never want to. Their entire outlook on life is, we want to help people and serve people, and we're giving up our daily life.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
think
to do
people
that.
are joining that for the money? They're not. Cops don't make that much money. Most people who become cops are doing it because they want to help people.
And same thing with the military. They're
especially the
making
military, yeah.
even less.
Yeah,
they're
so
making
little.
pennies. Like, they like, for like each hour that they work, they're maybe making like 10 cents to maybe like $1 an hour max. Like, that's
it's
it.
nothing.
They're working their entire fucking lives for the bare fucking minimum, and they're okay with it.
And they're living in shitty countries, in shitty conditions. You think military bases are a nice place to live? They're
No,
not.
they're
it's
the
like worse than a college
worst.
dorm.
They are
Yeah.
worse than a college dorm. They're
Yeah.
so small. You have to share walls with other families. Like, you don't really get that many perks. Like, you know, they're the school
Free college.
events.
That's about it.
Yeah,
That's
if you're in the
main-
military,
yeah.
but as like a kid who grew up
Oh,
in the
yeah.
military, you don't get anything.
No.
You have to go through all of that, and then you get absolutely nothing because, you know, your parent decided, we're gonna serve our country, and I'm like, I guess everybody hates us, but like,
I feel like
guess.
that's new, right? Right now is not a fun time to go to another country and say I'm from America because they laugh in your face.
I know, everybody hates us, and a lot of the younger generations, they don't remember what, you know, Americans had to go through. I mean, let's bring us back to 2001. I'm just like, if I say the year 2001 and it doesn't light anything, like that little light bulb in your head, I'm like,
Well, now the new generation doesn't, you know.
They don't.
Most people like 9/11, they'll be like, I don't know, I wasn't born yet.
right,
Yeah.
100%. They don't realize what, you know, how many American people had to struggle and really go through a lot of hell, and a lot of people who lost their sons and daughters, you know, one after another because of these crazy things that were happening. And, you know, it's very disheartening to hear and to see that, and that we're on this escapade of, you know, fuck the police and fuck the troops, and, you know, and it's just like, sure, I guess you could say that, but history repeats itself. So, you need to be careful because there's going to come a point in time when we're going to need them again. We are. We are going to need them. I looked at the statistic. There's only 1 million people. There's only 1 million people in the entire United States that are in the military. And we have billions of people. Just in LA alone, I think I looked up the other day, we have 39 point something million people that live in LA alone. And there's only 1 million in the military. Like, there are billions of people, and it's just like, and we only have 1 million serving, and it's just like, I'm just grateful for it is all. And I just wish people would stop hating and do a little bit more research and wonder like, hey, why are people actually doing these jobs?
That's the sad thing is all these haters on almost any hater of any type of field. It's always someone you ask them about and they don't know what they're talking about.
No,
if they've
because
actually done the research, they're not hating.
They're influencers. And I'm just like, did you even graduate high school?
They read one headline, they hear one opinion from their friend. That's all it takes for
Twitter news.
Yeah,
like
Twitter news.
It's not even real news or, again, like, I don't know. I love our country and I love our people, but I think our people are, a little too entitled and need to read some more books. I think like go to a library and go read a real book because it's just like, I feel sad that you guys are willing to throw away this much history
See if
in
you
the
could
fucking
put down
trash.
Reddit for 1 hour. See if you could read one chapter of a book. That's everyone's homework. Read one chapter of a book. See if you can get through it. It's hard, but you can do it.
You can do it.
Yeah.
I know.
Thank you for being on the podcast.
Oh, can I shout
appreciate it.
something out?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Sorry. I just wanted to shout out. I have a really big project that I'm working on right now, which is Black Widow XXX. And so.
Yeah, what's that about?
It's about Black Widow. So we have ScarJo's that's going to be released on July 9th, and mine is going to be released at the same exact time as hers, except for mine is the actual comic book rendition, whereas Marvel and Disney likes to go ahead and, put in their own little spice on things and their own little fantasies. And these characters, a lot of, like ScarJo taking on the role of Black Widow has a lot of ScarJo in it. You know what I mean? It's just like, it is her personality, which is amazing.
It's been all Hollywooded up. This is the real shit. True to the comic book. For you nerds out there, Lacy is a real bona fide nerd.
Yes, nerdy and dirty.
Literally.
That's what I've always said, nerdy and dirty. But so we are going to be bringing the comic book rendition for hair, for makeup, for costumes.
Wow.
The costumes are amazing because Axel puts in so much work and effort on them that he's there, part of every single part of the process. He creates the costumes, he brings in the comic books, and he goes, this is what I want to pull, this is what I want to pull. And the costume cannot fit anybody else. It is literally molded to my body, which is phenomenal.
It's gonna be hot.
It is hot. It's so hot. It makes my ass look amazing. And the thing is we keep on the costumes when we fuck. So like my tits come out basically, and then I have a zipper that that zips from my vagina all the way up through my ass. So I keep on the costume the entire fucking time. And it's glorious.
When's this
to
come
see.
out?
July 9th.
July 9th. I don't watch adult entertainment, but
we'll probably be putting out
No,
a
just
suitable for work one is what
Nice.
Axel likes to do because the acting is so intense and because it's like we have the scenes but there's so much more acting than it is about the scenes because that's what the fans care about when it comes to the parody porn is that it's not like, oh, look at this corny scene that has nothing to do. No, we are doing it like it's, just like you got like an extra page in the comic book and then that was the sex scene.
That's cool.
But it's still 20 pages of the comic book,
No,
basically.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna watch the adult version. It's that's exciting.
I'm very excited for it.
Is this your first time doing one of these comic book movies? No, you've done a bunch of
for last year was Captain Marvel, and that was Kenzie Taylor who played Captain Marvel, and Axel had me play Jean Grey. So we again original costume back when she was in like her green cat suit basically, and yeah, it was gorgeous. I would say I had to wear this headband though, and it was so hot. It was like the 120-degree like summer basically, and after I took like the
in
headband,
Vegas.
no, out here.
Oh, out here.
And so after I took off my headband, it literally left an imprint in my head. And I was like, okay, it'll go ahead and go away. But it was so tight and so hot, it stained for like 2 extra days.
Jeez.
And I was like, oh my God, I haven't.
You think porn's all fun and games. You think it's just, people having sex, loving life. You don't realize they have headband marks for days.
For days. My life is so hard. And I'm just like, I wish my life could be easier. But I'm very excited for that. So everybody make sure that you go to Wicked Pictures because it'll be exclusively through them only.
Okay.
It's directed by Axel Braun, who has done countless amounts of parody releases, and that's what he's famous for. Hollywood even knows him.
Wow.
Like he's really close with a lot of people in Hollywood, and they get excited for his movies just because they're like, oh, you're doing what we wanted to do.
It's true because of like the internet. These adult versions of these comic book things, they get real attention from real comic book fans, from everything. I see them pop up on Google all the time, even when I'm not watching pornography.
Oh yeah,
They pop up.
I mean, especially since it's going to be released the same exact day as ScarJo. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, all the heat and all the intensity is going to be there. So I'm very excited for that. So yeah, so July 9th, see me as Black Widow. And then one of the characters that we've already released is the Taskmaster. And that's played by Ramon Namar, who is an amazing individual. Absolutely adore him. And his costume is great. I don't know if you know who Taskmaster is.
I don't off the top of my head.
Well, they showed inside the regular Black Widow with her trailer, like he looks like a Power Ranger, and it's just
I love the Power Rangers. I'll say that.
It's embarrassing though. Like here, I just want to show you real quick.
Power Rangers. I think that was my first favorite TV show as a child. I would miss karate class to watch the Power Rangers. I'd punch everything I could.
Yeah,
Punch things all over the house.
I love Power Rangers, but the Taskmaster is so different than a Power Ranger, so it can be extremely disappointing. Here we go, right here.
I like all superheroes, all Marvel, anything with action.
Me too. I'm like, I know I'm not a romantic girl, and my partner all the time will be like, let's watch a rom-com, and I'm just like, I'd rather watch like an action flick, like because I'll just get so bored. Because I want to make sure that I show you the comic book Taskmaster.
And Taskmaster hasn't been in any real movies.
No,
yet.
because he's supposed to be in Black Widows. Okay, so this is his comic book.
Whoa.
Okay, so this is what he's supposed to...
That is going to be a hard costume to pull off. I'm excited to see it. That's cool.
But let me show you what they're doing for Black Widow's movie, because it's embarrassing. This is what he looks like. That doesn't look like the comic at all, does it?
No, it is a cool looking costume, but no, nothing
But
like the
it's
comic. That looks
nothing-
like the Power Ranger.
That looks like the Power Ranger.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying is just like when you're comparing things and trying to actually do things that match the comics, Disney fails all the fucking time.
Right, because they have groups probably that watch the movie, that they like focus groups that haven't seen the comic book, and they go, which costume do you like better? And they go, oh, that one looks like the Power Rangers. Let's go with that one.
Exactly. And like
They don't
his
know
entire
shit.
face moves though. So we'll actually be able to see that. Like if people think that it's just going to go ahead and stand still, no, he is full function of, because the mask was molded specifically to his face.
Wow.
The cowl was his head. So his eyebrows move, his face moves, his nose moves, his cheek moves. Like he has full range of expression inside this costume, and it's wicked to see. Because like I don't want to like give out like too much of the scene or anything, but like in the one part of the scene like where like he sticks out his tongue and like I don't know, it's just amazing just to like
you're getting me
see
excited.
everything.
I'm excited to
like,
see it.
and I'm just so proud of again like you know just making sure because that's the comic book. Like that is what it's supposed to look like, and Axel does that.
It looks badass. I'm excited for it.
Exactly. And then same thing with how like my costume and everything and my hair, because it's just like you never get to see with ScarJo, you never get to see the original Black Widow. You get to see the new one, Black Widow comic. Of course, these are all the new ones because they all match ScarJo. So this is like what Black Widow is supposed to look like.
I could see you in that outfit.
But that's what she's supposed to look like, including her hair and everything. And for some reason, they've never done that. All that they've done is just put major sex appeal.
Wait, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, yeah, no, that looks awesome. Yeah.
So we haven't even gotten the costume release yet because it's going to be
just the cover art for it. It looks awesome.
Right? Like seriously. And then we bring it back like it's going to look exactly like the fucking comic.
You were meant for that role.
Oh, I am Natasha.
Yeah. That's cool. All right. That's exciting.
Yeah. So I wanted to shout that out.
Yeah,
And
I want
anything everybody.
Else you want to plug or anything like that? Follow her on Instagram, Twitter.
Twitter, OnlyFans. My Twitter and my OnlyFans are both at Miss Lacy Lennon. I got my Instagram shut down at about 500,000.
Yeah, of course.
I worked so hard on that. It's okay, but like I said, my life is so hard, right? Anyways, made a new one. The new one's called Spitty McSpitter, but I'm gonna try changing that. Why do everybody's like, wow, how'd you choose that name? And I'm like, I don't know. Like
just take a second and think about it.
Just think about it. So, but I am
second.
thinking about changing it just because I think people have like a hard time spelling it.
Yeah, harder time finding you. Probably.
Yeah, and it's just like my problem is that when I created a second Instagram originally after my first one went down, I put it as Lacy Lennon backup. It was taken down within like hours. So it's like I've been like, okay, so I don't think so. My IP address isn't canceled, but my name is canceled. So that's why I went with the Spitty McSpitter at first.
Right.
And
to
so
mix it up.
yeah, and now that it's just like now I'm super shadow banned, and that's like why I'm not like raising my following at all. So I'm thinking about being that, okay, I think that they're gonna let me have the account, but I don't think that they're ever gonna unshadow ban me, so I might as well just change it over to Lacy Lennon. Yeah.
We'll figure it out. Follow her on Twitter and OnlyFans. For
Definitely
the time
Twitter.
Being.
Twitter is the place to be. Twitter's my favorite.
Yeah, they allow the most stuff.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. I can do whatever I want on Twitter.
Thanks again for doing the podcast.
Of course,
I really
you're welcome.
appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
You're listening to
Unlicensed
Unlicensed Therapy with Ari Mannis.
There it was, the whole episode with Lacy Lennon. What a story. It's an interesting story. I'm kind of, she's making a lot of money. She's in a happy relationship. She's doing projects that she's happy with. She's into gaming. So on one hand, I'm like, stoked for you, dude. You're killing it. And then on the other hand, when she talked about how she got into porn, how she was poor and needed money and was passed around in college, stuff she was doing for free anyway, I was like, oh man, I feel a little bad for her. But honestly, seems like she's doing well. So I think let's just be happy for her and support her. Support Lacy Lennon because she did my podcast. So she's very kind. Very kind of her. Has a big following. She gets asked to do a lot of things and she gets paid well for them. You know how much I paid her? Nothing. She gave me a Penthouse magazine, Burned Gas Coming over here. So thank you. Make sure to leave a Apple Podcast review, comment on YouTube, and subscribe. Leave those voicemails. We got Jessime Peluso today, best-selling. Jeremy Piven coming up. So please leave a voicemail. The number is below in the description. I think that's it. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you next week.